The first time I met her, I thought she was a child. I just moved into the old apartment block on the edge of town, the kind of place with thin walls, buzzing lights, and neighbors who avoided eye contact in the hallway. It was cheap, which was all that mattered. I wasn't looking for community, just somewhere to exist quietly after too many restless years. But on the third night, long after I'd gone to bed, there came a sound. Soft, hesitant. Not the pounding of a drunk neighbor. Not the aggressive rapping of a landlord. This was delicate, almost frightened. I opened the door, and there she was. Barely 4 feet tall, her skin a pale bluish hue that caught the hallway's dim light strangely. Her eyes, too large, too luminous, peered up at me. Her frame was fragile, wrapped in a faded blanket that looked more like scavenged cloth than anything from a store. "My name is Lyra," she whispered, voice shaking. "I need your help, please. If I don't, I won't survive the night." Beginning, the midnight confession. My first instinct was to slam the door. You don't get to my age without learning how to avoid other people's problems. But something in her voice, raw, desperate, stopped me. "What do you mean, survive?" I asked, keeping my tone flat. She looked around nervously, as though expecting someone to leap from the shadows. Then she stepped closer, lowering her voice to a conspiratorial whisper. "I need water," she said. "Not just any water. Purified. Cold. Your kind keeps it." I blinked at her. "You mean bottled water?" She nodded eagerly, as though the very word was salvation. I grabbed a bottle from my fridge and handed it over, more curious than compassionate. She twisted the cap off with trembling hands, tipped it back, and drank like she'd just crossed a desert. Her shoulders relaxed as color seemed to return to her skin. Not human color, but a faint luminescence that made her almost glow. When she finished, she pressed the empty bottle back into my hand. "Thank you," she whispered. "I'll return the favor." Before I could ask what that meant, she darted away, vanishing into the apartment across the hall. Middle secrets across the hall. Over the next week, the knocking continued. Always at midnight. Always the same request. Sometimes it was water. Other nights it was salt, sugar, or even a packet of rice I hadn't touched in months. Whatever she asked for, I gave her. And every time she promised repayment. Eventually, curiosity overcame me. One night, after she finished drinking another bottle, I asked, "Who are you really? Because you're not from around here." Her luminous eyes softened. For the first time, she didn't look like she was about to bolt. "I'm not from your world," she admitted. "My ship, it broke when it came down. I was separated from the others. They think I'm gone. Others, my kin. We came to study, quietly, to learn of your kind without harm. But the crash, it burned and I hid." Her voice cracked, her alien features contorting with something all too human. Loneliness. I should have laughed, told her I didn't believe a word, but instead I found myself nodding slowly. Because as strange as it sounded, it explained everything. The glow of her skin, the way she recoiled from sunlight, the impossible fragility of her form. And there was another reason. The sincerity in her eyes. "What happens if you don't get what you need?" I asked. "I weaken," she whispered. "The air of your world is wrong. My body fights it. Without balance, water, salts, sugars, I will fade." I thought I could adapt. But each day. She looked down at her hands, trembling faintly. Each day is harder. I started leaving supplies by my door before midnight. Bottled water, small packets of food, anything she might need. She always came silently, always grateful, always gone by morning. And yet she never stopped whispering, "I'll repay you. Soon." I didn't know what she meant. I didn't want repayment. But I couldn't deny something was changing in me. The midnight knocks were no longer intrusions. They were the highlight of my days. Rising tension. The stranger in the hall. It was a Tuesday night when I saw him. A man I'd never noticed before, tall and broad-shouldered, standing too long in the hallway near Lyra's door. He was dressed in black, the kind of uniform that didn't announce itself but still demanded authority. His eyes scanned the floor as if searching for something unseen. When he noticed me, his expression tightened. "You live here?" he asked. He nodded. "Yeah. Why? Have you noticed anything unusual? Strange noises? Odd behavior from the other tenants?" I felt my chest tighten. He was here for her. I didn't know how, but I knew it. "No," I said evenly. "Just thin walls. You hear people's TVs sometimes." He stared at me for a moment too long, then muttered something into a device at his wrist and walked away. That night, Lyra didn't knock. The following evening, I knocked on her door instead. It creaked open an inch, revealing her pale face. "They're searching," she whispered before I could speak. "They know one of us lived. If they find me, I'm finished." "Who are they?" I asked. "The ones who hunt what they don't understand. Your governments, they want our knowledge, our flesh, our—" She stopped, shaking her head violently. "I must leave. Soon." Her voice broke. "But my vessel, broken. I can't repair it alone." That was the first time she asked me for more than food. Middle climax. The broken vessel. Her vessel turned out to be hidden in the woods beyond the edge of town, half buried in mud and covered by branches. It wasn't much larger than a car, its once sleek surface scorched and bent. She moved quickly despite her frail form, crawling beneath the hull to reveal a small access hatch. The inside was a cramped tangle of alien components, glowing faintly in colors I'd never seen before. "I need materials," she said. "Metals, wires, energy cells. Your kind makes them differently, but I can adapt." Over the next week, I became her supplier. I raided junkyards, bought scrap electronics, even smuggled old batteries from my workplace. Piece by piece, she fitted them into the vessel, her hands trembling but precise. All the while we spoke. She told me of her world. Oceans that glowed with light, cities that floated in the sky, voices that sang instead of spoke. And I told her of mine. Gray cities, crowded streets, the crushing silence of being surrounded by people who never really see you. She listened like no one else ever had. And for reasons I couldn't explain, I wanted her to survive more than I wanted anything else in the world. The hunt tightens. The men in black kept coming back. I saw them more often, patrolling the street, scanning rooftops, even entering the building. They knocked on doors, asked questions, left behind a pressure that never faded. One night, I returned home to find my own door ajar. Nothing had been taken, but I knew they'd been inside. Searching, watching. I rushed across the hall. She was waiting, eyes wide with fear. "They know," she whispered. "I can't stay much longer." "Then we finish the repairs," I said firmly. "Tomorrow." Climax. The midnight escape. The next night we worked until dawn. Her vessel hummed with unstable power, its panels flickering back to life. She was pale, exhausted, but her eyes burned with determination. "They'll track the launch," she said. "I won't reach orbit. Unless—" she looked at me with something like sorrow. "Unless someone delays them."